I'm sorry, but someone has to tell you this if you are a new player like myself. You're not doing your best to progress in Tarkov, and that's absolutely your fault alone. Stop blaming the circumstances and start utilizing your SCAVs more. Welcome back, my name's Daeldadris and you heard me right. Most people never even try the SCAV life, but that's an integral part of the game that can help you progress your account and PMC so much that you won't believe why you didn't do it in the first place. I know that playing your PMC with the gear of your choice, doing tasks and taking down other players is the best adrenaline rush you can get, but hear me out first. When you load in with your SCAV, you already have a set of gear that you can extract out with immediately for profit or use it later with your PMC. This is not always the best course of action, especially at the beginning when your SCAV karma is really low and you have crappy gear thanks to that, but it's an option to consider. Later, however, as you begin to level up your karma more, you'll get better and better starting gear for your SCAVs and your cooldown to play them gets lower and lower as well. Your possibilities are endless. You can collect gear with them that you'll need for quests or hideout upgrades later on. You can loot your way towards an extract and get a decent profit on your stuff when you get back. Or even better, you can take on players without losing your precious PMC gear. Now technically, SCAVs are at a disadvantage when you spawn in, as a lot of time has already passed in the raid, so most of the high interest areas are already looted. But that's also a blessing in disguise. You see, most probably a few of the PMC players have already died as well, which means less people are on the map that can get you. Don't forget that all other SCAVs except for SCAV bosses below a certain karma level will be friendly to you, so really all you have to worry about are the players that are still alive. Using this to your advantage, you can roam around the map more freely, and you can also take this up a notch if you load into a nighttime raid where there's even less competition for loot because of poor visibility and a heightened sense of fear in people. You could technically do hidden cache runs, but one of the patches made the cache spawns randomized, and most likely a PMC already looted those anyway by the time you join. My idea about making the most out of your SCAV runs is a bit different. First thing you should do when you load in is to just open your inventory and see what randomized loot you've got. You won't believe the items you can sometimes spawn with. I've spawned in twice with lab access cards in one day despite my low SCAV karma level. If you see a valuable item like these pop up in your inventory, head for the extract immediately. It's not worth the risk to loot an additional box of nails and getting shot in the process by another new player SCAV that doesn't yet know they were not supposed to shoot you. Once you've checked this, the real fun begins. Do you remember those tasks where you have to have a key with you just to access a room or building that you need to do your quest in? That's also way easier when you use your SCAV first to just run around the map and search every jacket you find for keys and transfer those to your PMC when you successfully extract. That way your PMC won't ever have to do a risky search for these and can just enter the buildings with half the effort, making your runs smoother and more efficient. The only thing that comes to my mind that you can't really do on a SCAV are tasks that require you to pick up certain unique quest items like manifests and such, as these are only visible to PMCs. As a con, I can only mention that the time you spend on your SCAVs is less time spent on your PMC, so your skill progression could slow down as a result. SCAVs have a separate pool of skills and they don't share progression with your PMCs, so keep that in mind. I've only started playing Tarkov this wipe and there's still a lot of things for me to learn, yet I've managed to keep my raids going and my funds stacked to acceptable levels while also filling 2 junk boxes full of items that I need for future quests and hideout upgrades. If you are new to the game, you probably know about MapGenie, the Tarkov wiki page and other similar sites for mapping and possible loot locations. I want you to add another site to your bookmarks if you haven't already done so, and that's tarkovtracker.io. It's essentially a tool where you can keep track of all the items you will need for hideout upgrades or quests. I use this site all the time to keep track of the things I still need to take out of raids, so when my character reaches the specific tasks in its progression, they can be completed immediately. It tells you the minimum number of items needed for these, but it won't help you with barter items. As a rule of thumb, it never hurts to have a few extra items for barter trades, but you really should be focusing on getting the ones for quests first and hideout upgrades second if you plan on playing for a longer period in a wipe. Now that I've told you how to utilize SCAVs, it's time to jump in and have some fun with them. There's no real downside to playing as one unless you shoot other SCAVs, which will lower your reputation with fans, but the payout can be huge. I'll mention a few runs that are worthwhile if you are a beginner in Tarkov. Learn the layout of Factory and load in here with your SCAV after every PMC raid. You can get meds near the med tent and other goodies in the technical supply crate in the underground section, as well as multiple weapon cases and random loot. There are also a few jackets around on this map, so you can start your key collection by checking them often. An alternative beginner's run is to go to Interchange during nighttime and loot the back shelves of Goshen for a lot of food. Even if you don't need them for quests now, you can stack them for later use or you can straight up vendor them to therapists for a quick profit. Once you are level 15 and you unlock the flea market, you can see what sells there best and focus on collecting those in the future to maximize profit. A riskier approach to this Interchange run would be to learn where the PC rooms are and start looting them. I was amazed how many times these still weren't looted by PMCs by the time players' SCAVs load in. These are an easy supply of wires, PCBs, CPUs, CPU fans and the likes, and I've managed to get a GPU from them once already. It's a highly underrated tactic to loot these, as most scavs take it for granted that players have already looted these dry, which is not always the case. A third run, useful for beginners, would be to do customs a few times. You will be here a lot later because of different tasks, and the sooner you learn the map layout the better. It also spawns a ton of jackets in different parts of the map that can snowball your key collection, or you can sell the valuable ones for profit on the flea market. This map has a lot of duffel bags that contain a variety of valuable things, and if you feel brave enough you can go to the dorms to challenge a few players for some juicy loot. These are all my tips for you on how to best utilize your scav runs in case you didn't already. I hope you found these tips and pointers useful, and I hope that these will help you make bank for your future PMC raids. Like the video if it was useful to you, share your best scav run story in the comments below, and subscribe to my channel if you don't want to miss out on future content. Thanks for being here, and I see you all next time.